If you didn't know, I have been making a series called The Gods and Goddesses of Ancient Egypt since I began here on TikTok years ago, and I finally have a couple more that I wanted to talk about. So let's talk about part 42 and one of my favorite gods, Khonsu. Although I have lost the comment, this has been one of the highly requested videos ever since the show Moon Knight came out, and I've been dying to talk about this god. Khonsu is the ancient Egyptian god of the moon, and his name means traveler. This might relate to his nightly travels of the moon across the sky. He is also referred to by the titles Embracer, Pathfinder, Defender, and Healer. He is one of the most important gods, especially during the New Kingdom, as he was part of the Theban triad, with Mut as his mother and Amun as his father. This is a picture of that triad in the Temple of Karnak that I took last year, with Amun, Mut, and Khonsu here. In art, Khonsu can be depicted a couple different ways, including fully human like you saw in the last image, but typically he is depicted like this, in a white, tight-fitting outfit, which technically means that he is a mummy, similar to how Osiris is depicted. But he also has this large side lock here, which is essentially a braided piece of hair while the rest of the hair is shaved. This is typical imagery that depicts a child in ancient Egyptian culture, which again makes sense because within the theme of the triad, he is always the child of the two other gods and goddesses. But he can also be depicted with the head of a falcon like the god Horus. In both instances, he's usually going to wear a crown of the white moon disk as well as a crescent moon underneath. Unfortunately, when there's no color preserved, it does look like a sun disk. It is technically the moon, so you always have to look for that white crescent moon underneath it. Now, this is one of the major problems I had with Moon Knight because Khonsu in that is not depicted as a falcon. He looks more like an ibis or a heron. The beak is way, way too long. Khonsu is mentioned in the pyramid texts and the coffin texts of the Old and Middle Kingdoms, but he doesn't really reach prominence until the New Kingdom, where he's described as the greatest god of the great gods. Most of the construction of the Temple of Karnak was centered on Khonsu during the Ramesside period. There's also a separate temple of Khonsu, specifically at Karnak within the walls, where it depicts the creation myth, in which Khonsu is the great snake who fertilizes the cosmic egg in the creation of the world. Honestly, did not know that creation myth existed in ancient Egypt until now. There's lots more to know about Khonsu, and I am definitely going to talk about Moon Knight. Next video, we're going to talk about a regional god that not a lot of people know about.